Doing good. Are you free to talk for a little second? If you care to? Sure? I'm live right now, and we're covering what's happening in Ottawa, and we want to tell the true story.
Okay.
And can you tell us what you see in Ottawa?
Well, I see a lot of truck drivers that are still fed up, and they're not giving in, and whatever threats pose our way, we know we're here peacefully and legally.
Yep.
And if the city wants to enforce illegal actions to try and bring us down, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's only going to get worse. The world is watching. So whatever move they make will be heard by all around the world.
Heard and seen.
Yep, all around the world, and interference will happen then, and then they're gonna have bit off more than they can chew.
Yes, sir. And they've already really have.
Yep.
Yep.
So we're not backing down. We have nothing to go back to if this doesn't resolve. We have nothing to go back to. We have nothing to lose. So go ahead, arrest us.
Go ahead.
Yep. Go ahead.
Do your worst.
Do it.
Do it.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly.
And give a little message to Justin Trudeau if you were watching, respectfully, or you don't have to be nice.
No, I think he needs to stop thinking about his corruption. Leave Satan alone, and do what he was voted in to do and what he's getting paid to do.
Yeah.
And that is run a country the way a prime minister is supposed to run a country.
Yeah.
Not through corruption, not through hurting his own people. He has absolutely no care for the people in this country. So if he can't do a job, then he needs to step down.
That's right.
And let somebody else.
And what kind of leader takes off? He took off.
Yeah.
He left.
Yeah, what kind of leader leaves his people? What kind of leader storms out of Parliament because he's mad because he doesn't want to listen?
Yeah.
So he needs to do his job or get out or just let somebody step in who can do it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's many people there. So there's a lot more than a fringe minority. He's censored every news media to keep people quiet and put restrictions on us that we can't get together, so we can't form unity against him. That's done purposely.
Mm-hmm. Strategic. That was a strategic thing.
Exactly. And that ain't happening. Canadians will still get together. There's certain things that you just cannot restrict, and that is family and friends. You're not going to restrict that.
All right.
And yeah.
And you know the Liberal Party, right? Yeah. Liberal. How much liberty do they have?
Yeah.
Is that a good one?
Exactly. No, and we can clearly see this movement here has created so much unity between people. But what has he caused? Division. So anybody, vaxxed or unvaxxed, what do you want? Do you want always to be separate on your own, or do you want to be with everybody that
what gives with that? What gives with that?
Exactly. So no, people need to get their heads on straight.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What happened to minding your own fucking business when it comes to this? Do you got this and do you got that? What's your medical status?
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's our personal information that doesn't need to be shared, and we have a right to keep that confidential.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be exposed. Now, not only are we forced to take the vaccination, but we're forced to give up our medical records to people that it's none of their business. And with all this fraud that goes on with identity theft, we need to keep stuff private.
Yeah, and we found out that they were tracking millions of Canadians with this COVID app.
Yeah, and
illegally.
Members of Parliament included.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how corrupt is that? Yeah, well, how corrupt is that? Is that something? Does that come from a prime minister who wants to run a country or wants to run a communism?
Did you ever think Canada would come to this point?
No, I had never in my wildest dreams thought that in less than 2 years we would be here like this.
Yeah.
Just a little bit over 2 years. Sorry, pardon me. That we would be here like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have never thought in my wildest dreams. I always thought we lived in a free country, and he has no right to take that away. People have died for that freedom.
Yep.
He's worried about the grave of that soldier, which we are all too. But he's using that not for the correct reason. He's using that to throw at us to gain
popularity. Yeah.
But meanwhile, he is disgracing all the graves of the soldiers that have died. Also,
To fight this exact shit that's happening right now. And
that's a disgrace.
what do you think they would say if they could see this?
They'd be very disappointed. What would have been the point? They watched friends die. If they have family at home that were waiting for them to come back home, they didn't come back home. There's a lot of bloodshed that has happened for the freedom that we have. It's not up to him to piss it away.
That's right.
Yeah. So it's not his freedom to give away, and we're going to take it back.
He doesn't own the country.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He works for the people. The people don't work for him. So he's got to get that straight. Who pays his paycheck?
Yeah.
So,
And another point I want to bring up is they've closed down hundreds of thousands of businesses. The businessman's getting.
yeah. He's worried about these businesses that aren't running here.
Yeah.
What about all the businesses who had no choice yet they shut down?
Or face large fines and ostracizing.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So
It's blackmail.
yeah, that has to stop.
It has to stop.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's so many businesses that have that had to shut down. Family-run businesses that have been handed down to generation had to close their doors because of him. So that's unacceptable.
Yeah, that's a destruction of the foundation of Canada.
Exactly.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
What would you tell the fake news CBC media? I'm sorry, these questions.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if I have so much to say to them. Shame on you. That'd be one start. For lying to people.
Yeah.
For lying to people. How do you sleep at night? We turned to them for news that we thought we could rely on, and it's been lies all along. I never thought that they were as corrupt as I've learned a lot. There's certain ones I will not be supporting anymore. And people need to wake up that they're being lied to by these and stop listening to them. Because they just tell you what Justin Trudeau wants you to hear.
Yeah.
And the rest they keep out.
And not only just the CBC, the Liberal Party, and Justin Trudeau, he's been blatantly disrespecting, demonizing, calling you guys all kinds of names that are completely false, under a lie.
Well,
How you doing?
Hard at it.
That's right, buddy. Hey, should they support?
Everything. Oh no, who, what, where, when? No.
All right, brother.
That's the question. Who are we supporting, man?
Main Street Canada. Channel.
Mainstream Canada?
Street.
Yeah, I support you.
All right, brother.
Because you're real news.
That's right.
Because you're real news.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Back to just
No.
the state of what we're experiencing.
Yeah. No, like as people of Canada, they need to open their eyes.
Yeah.
And stop being lied to. Stop being lied to. And anybody who doesn't believe that what comes on CTV, CBC, Global, all of them.
Yep.
Come here, walk around and take a look. You'll see what unity is.
Open your eyes. Wake up.
Open your eyes. And if you think that we're violent and destructive and we're destroying stuff, come take a walk and see for yourself. That's real news.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
They've called you terrorists and all this stuff.
Yeah.
When there's a terrorist organization on the streets, why are the cops standing around?
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah. That looks very threatening. Eh?
Draw the dots, guys. 2 + 2.
Yeah. Exactly.
What's with that?
When the food shelter there's got overflowing with food that they have to turn it down.
Yeah.
Homeless are being fed. Streets are being cleaned up. Crime has gone down.
That's right.
Is that terrorism?
I guess in a good peace-loving country, that's terrorism to these guys.
Like it.
Yeah, right. Hey, don't let them clip this and take it out of context, right, guys?
Exactly.
And you know, sometimes these conversations, they get dark, and the words and the terrorism and all this ugly shit, right?
Yeah.
But it's not you who brought this on. It's not you calling. It's them. This is the words they describe the Canadians who pay for the media, the CBC. It's only funded by tax.
Yeah. No, and he's against bullying and racism and stuff. But he's accusing us for everything he's guilty of.
That's right.
He's guilty.
It's a reflection of himself.
Yeah. I don't agree with bullying. I'm not racist. I like everyone. But he's the one bullying people around. He needs to practice what he preaches. So, yeah.
Did you ever feel like your voices were getting heard until now?
No, I thought I was by myself on this until this movement started, because he censored everything.
Yeah, and they're still censoring.
Yeah.
They don't want people to see what's going on here at all.
Yeah, 90% vaxxed. I don't believe it.
No,
I don't believe it.
their polls have been bullshit from the start.
Yeah, and you come here on this convoy and you see the people supporting, and you tell me that is only 10% of Canadians. Yeah, no. I've come a long way and seen a lot of people.
Yeah, you were Saturday, right?
Yeah.
And how many people were out there?
Lots.
And you were,
can't even count them.
and if you were in down that main square, you couldn't even move.
No.
And guess what?
Yeah.
We should all be dropping dead, shouldn't we?
We should all have COVID and be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the case, is it?
No. I haven't heard of anybody getting it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we want to avoid the medical talk because we've done a lot of interviews. We
Yeah.
covered this subject a lot,
Yeah.
and they strike our channel
Yeah.
saying that we're spreading misinformation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now you can't even talk about it, apparently.
Well, then they just don't say anything. Just come here and look for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, it's. I believe the virus exists,
Yeah.
but it's nothing more.
Blown out of proportion.
Blown out of the proportion so bad. And how far do you want to go?
Yeah.
Destroy homes. Destroy families.
Divide the family.
Divide the whole country.
Squash the business.
Yeah.
What kind of world are they working towards, right?
Yeah. So if the virus doesn't kill you, what about suicide then? Because of the depression
And drugs.
And drugs.
You know, they've
overdose.
seized enough fentanyl. The RCMP has seized enough fentanyl
Yeah.
to overdose every single Canadian in the country.
Yeah.
A grain of fentanyl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem. And meanwhile, they spend all this money,
Yeah.
and everything's still the same, and it's getting worse.
Yeah. And he claims about the shortage of ICU rooms and stuff like that. It would have made more sense had he taken all the money that he spent on vaccines, all the lottery money that's been given out.
Yeah.
For taking the
$600 billion.
Yeah. For taking the vaccine, take that money, pay the nurses a little better. Don't get rid of the ones that refuse the vaccine.
Yeah.
Keep them all. Pay them a little bit more. There's hospitals that I know of that are completely empty, that have nothing more than just a walk-in clinic. And they're being heated, these buildings. There's everything in there. They're not used.
Waste of money.
Waste of money.
All they want to do.
Talk shortage. And when there's already a shortage on nurses, does that make sense to get rid of nurses because they refuse the vaccine when there's already a shortage?
Yeah.
Aren't you creating
Isn't that
a problem?
counterproductive,
Yeah,
Mr.
you're
Trudeau?
creating a bigger problem.
Mm-hmm.
And
And that's what it seems. Nothing but problems from this Liberal government.
yeah, what he does, nothing makes sense. He just goes against the grain. He's not fighting for Canadians.
He doesn't. You guys are underrepresented,
Yeah,
and they're disrespecting you guys, and it's not right. And that's why you're here.
yeah. And there's no. If this doesn't, if we stop here, there's nothing to go home to.
There's nothing.
Yeah, I'll sit in the pen he wants to lock me in, and he can feed me there then.
Okay.
There's nothing left to go home to. And we're not backing up.
All right. Sounds good. Any little closing note? We got people watching from the States, all over the world too.
I would like it if people would pray for the people that are here. Very blessed, the amount of kind people that are out here, and pray that God will put His hand upon us there and open Trudeau's eyes, that he understands what he's doing, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the interview. Great interview.